Alright guys, I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, and that is a story of my life video. So if you just want to sit back and I'm going to just, at this point in my life, I hope that I can actually talk about the things that have led up to now and just maybe be an encouragement to you guys. So this is going to be my life story. It started back in March 12, 1995. I was little Sebastian, born to my mom and real dad. But when I was about 8 months old, my real dad left, and I'm not really sure why. And neither did my mom. So anyway, we moved across the street, basically. And while I was there, there was a T intersection by my house where where two little girls and their older brother and their dad lived. And the two little girls would come over and play with me. And finally one thing led to another, and my mom met their dad, and they started going out, and eventually, a couple years later, they got married when I was about 4 years old. Now, during those 4 years, in the time of them getting married, for a couple of years, everything went well, and then I was about 6 years old. That's when fights started. There was always arguments about stupid things. But me and my sisters got along great, and we would just hide in our rooms and listen to the arguments go on and on and on. It was always about us kids, decisions, just everything was an argument. And that lasted from the time I was 6 till I was about 16, 17 in that time. And so I just grew up in turmoil and fights and not knowing when it was going to end. When I was about 12 years old, I was bad at sports, I was fat, and I was depressed. I blamed myself for my real dad leaving. Somewhere along the line, someone told me that my dad left because he thought I'd grow up to be a failure. And because my mom didn't know why he left, I believed that person. And so I thought to myself, I am a failure. And then when my parents started arguing about us kids, I blamed myself for that too. And it just led to this guilt that all this turmoil and pain I'm going through is all my fault. Now, we still were a Christian family and went to church, and eventually we moved churches when I was 13 or 14. It was there I met this girl who I'm going to call Jamie. And although there's still fighting going on in my life, she was the first friend that I would actually talk to about personal issues, because I would never talk to my parents about what was going on in my life, because I didn't want to be basically picking sides between my mom and stepdad, and I didn't want to get in between those fights. So I opened up to this girl, and I would stay up late on a computer, texting her from a computer, and just getting to know her, wanting to know everything I could about her. And although my home life was bad, I started getting a lot happier because I now had this girl in my life. Now, in that time, I'd attempted suicide twice and didn't tell anybody. I overdosed 2 different times, and I would just wake up sick the next day. My parents were none the wiser, and I didn't know why it didn't work. And finally, my parents were arguing really bad. I was just in not a good mood, and I finally decided I'm going to shoot myself. And so I had an iPod Touch. I texted Jamie, and I just kind of said, you know, thank you for being there, being my friend. And she could tell something was wrong. How she did, I don't know. But she knew something was going on. And if she hadn't been there for me that night, I wouldn't be here today. And if she watches this video, which I'm sure she's not going to, but thank you for what you've done for me, because without you, I wouldn't have been here. Now, when I was 16, I got the nerve to talk to her dad and asked him if I could ask his daughter out, and I got permission, and we started going out. We were 16, and for quite a while, that went really, really well. Although my home life was still not going that great, she was there for me, and that was all that mattered at that time. Now, We both had a mutual friend that she had liked a long time ago, and it seemed like he was talking to her more, and it kind of bugged me. And so I told her, you know, it kind of makes me uncomfortable that you talk to this guy so much. You can still do it, but just letting you know how I feel. Then I talked to him, and I said, man, you know, could you please stop talking to my girlfriend so much? And he said, I'll do what I want. And then it seemed like they kept talking. I went off on him, which I shouldn't have done. And he told her that what I told him, and she broke up with me, and it was really unexpected. And losing her threw me in a downward spiral of depression. And she had been my only friend that I would talk to. And without her being there, she tried to be there as a friend, and I just didn't really allow it. And so I finally just told her, you know, you're going to have to move on. My life then became depression, loneliness. I was fat. I felt guilty for the fights. I felt guilty for losing a relationship. I felt I was ugly. I started cheating in school. I started hanging in with the wrong crowd. And although I would be out in public and seem happy, and everyone always thought I was the jokester, nothing is going wrong with me, inside I was broken. And I was sad, and I was depressed, I was suicidal, I started cutting, I had self-harm, I starved myself, and nobody even knew, except maybe Jamie. I think she knew, but I didn't want her to worry about me. I didn't want anyone to worry about me because I hated myself, and I didn't care what happened. And in music classes that I would go to, nobody knew. And when I would go to church, nobody knew, because I wouldn't tell anybody, because I didn't want anyone to worry about me, and I didn't want anyone to help me. Now, that was not that long ago. Now my parents have worked things out, and I'm so glad that they have. And my sisters graduated from college, they moved to Indiana. They're both married now, and they're both pregnant. Jamie, I finally told her to move on. We don't talk anymore, and she has a new boyfriend. And to me, there's scars, both physical and emotional scars left behind from decisions I've made and from things that have gone on that I know won't fully go away. And then, just whenever I thought that me being alone, I'm not going to be able to take it anymore, I got a job at Panera Bread Co. And I had some awesome coworkers there, people that listen, people that are actually good friends that make work enjoyable, and it helps me forget about my problems and my pain. And if any of my coworkers are watching this, I want to say thank you so much for the days that I've gone in so depressed and sad to work, and you guys have just always made me laugh and smile and just encouraged me. And using that job, besides just helping people on my own, actually I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, as you guys know, I got accepted to St. Louis College of Pharmacy. I'm a senior this year. I play guitar, but I still feel alone to this day. I had friends leave. I'm always in hurt, pain, depressed. It's just, I felt like it's everyone else, and then I'm just my own person that nobody cares about and that nobody will ever understand. And then I started talking to people, and I realized that everyone has a story. Some worse than mine, some better than mine, but everyone still has a story. And that's when I realized that I'm still here for a reason. People were in my life and kept me here for a reason. Its suicidal attempts didn't work for a reason. And I know that I'm still here, and that I want you guys to realize that you're not alone, just like I just realized that I'm not alone. Yes, I'm still not 100% out of the gray, and I still have days that I'm still down, but I just need to remember that everything happens for a reason, and realize, both me and if you're in the same boat as me, everything, if you're still here, it's not by accident. People are here for a reason. And I've realized now that helping other people is one of the best ways to be happy and one of the best ways to get over problems. And that's why I want to use my YouTube channel to help entertain, encourage, and inform people about my life, and just help make other people's days brighter, just like other YouTubers have done for me. Smosh, Ray William Johnson, Shane Dawson, Ryan Higa, and probably dozens of others that I watch on a regular basis, because, you know, they're the people